Thaniel is resting, but it's no easy slumber. I discovered what's wrong with him. The shadows rendered him in two when they bore him away to the Shadowfell. Half of his essence remained here, amidst the curse. What stayed behind would have been the strongest part of him. But after all these years left in the darkness, corruption must have taken hold.
Oliver, probably.
It's both simple and not. We need to find Thaniel's missing half and make him whole again. Only the missing half may not come willingly. The curse will have sunk its tendrils deep, twisting Thaniel's essence into something else. And you saw this boy yourself. That can't be a coincidence, but we need to be sure. And I truly mean we, if you wish. Every moment counts, and I've asked much of you already without being at your side. If you want me, I'm yours. Against the curse, against the absolute... anything. Just say the word.
Halsin's finally our bro.
I don't believe it. They can't be.
Breathe, child. Resist not the winds of change. Let them carry thee.
No.
Sorcerer?
Listen. Dost thou not hear it? Where creation meets ruin, where morning meets midnight, the root of all being. Balance.
They're dead. I can't. Balance.
Your very soul is tangled in shadow. Arabella's magic, wild as cursed briar. Her talent is now yours too.
Oh shit. That looks
Girl
dope.
must learn the ways of the arcane, but she shan't remain here.
Ideas. Withers.
Arabella holds a power beyond reckoning, that of the decaying forest and the seedling that bore it. But it is unbalanced. Her yoke is already heavy. If she walks thy path, it will surely break. Arabella will depart once thou dost leave these accursed lands. She will find her way safely. Thus, it is fated.
Bowman, you're making me leave.
Fear not, girl. The weave knows thy purpose. It will guide thee, if thou dost listen. Thou must.
You feel grief fade as if it were your own. There is a lightness in her now, veiling the power within, soothing it.
Is that my future? Is that why they died?
It is.
It's wonderful. Thank you, Bowman, for being nice. If there are people like you around, perhaps everything will be all right.
Bold claim considering I murder a lot of people.
If Bowman says I'll be all right, I'll be all right.
If you believe him,
just
I'm okay
wish-
with it.
I wish it was different. I wish Mum and Pops was here. I don't feel so strong. Or anything, really. Just tired. I guess I can take care of myself. I mean, I've gotten this far.
Halsin is one hench elf. I'm impressed. And glad he's on our side.
It's about time Halsin actually stepped up and joined us properly.
He's certainly been taking up space at camp for long enough.
Halsin's proved himself a fine ally already. He'll be useful in battle, if those tree trunk arms are an indication.
I think I'll enjoy traveling with Halsin. Not for his wit or wisdom. He'll just make an excellent shield if we're attacked.
A savvy move recruiting Halsin to our cause. While I'm adept at most forms of weave manipulation, druidic magic is not my area of expertise. He will make for a most useful option to have in reserve.
Halsin is such a delight. Woe to the cultist who tangles with that thick hunk of an elf.
I hear nature's symphony in this place. Now, it is quiet. Quiet and dead.
I can make some animal noises if it'll make you feel more at home.
You bleat well enough as it is.
That was good fucking interaction.
Not back to glow, are you? Nobody likes a bad winner.
Though shrouded in shadows, the child's resemblance to Thaniel is unmistakable. This must be his dark half, warped by the curse.
I still think you might have tricked me. If you did, I'll figure it out. Spoil sport. I'm not going back. I like it here. I've made a family for myself. I get to play all the time. Yes, I do. You can't make me do anything. I don't want to play with you anymore.
He's fled. We need to track him down. Wherever the curse is the strongest, that's where he'll go. That's where he'll feel safe.
Oh, middle of the square. In this portal. Okay.
Why couldn't you just leave me alone? Why can't I just stay here, playing? I had everything I've ever wanted, right here! And you've ruined it. I'm not leaving. You can't make me.
Be gentle. He's much more than a child. But he doesn't truly know that.
He's nothing to me. He left me here all this time. I had to do everything for myself. Even when it was scary, even when I was alone. I didn't give up. But would he even want me back? I've changed. A lot. So I wouldn't have to be alone anymore. He'd stay with me. Play with me. I'd like that. And he would too, I think. All right, I'll do it. I want to do it.
Well done.
Are you crying? You're a bit big to be crying. But I suppose that's okay. Bye. And thank you for playing with me.
It's done, at last. Soon the land will be unshrouded. We should return to Thaniel when we can.
These lands may not be under the thrall of Lady Shar for much longer. No matter. She wishes for Ketheric Thorm to be punished. Her darkness was a blessing offered before he betrayed her. She can redirect her powers elsewhere once he is cast down.
The druid Halsin spoke to me while I was sleeping. He spoke of you. Said that you fought shadow and spite to restore me. 100 years of sickness almost ended. I feel every root that riddles the earth beginning to unfold. But there is one anchor, still holding the shadows in place. The soul that brought it into being. For the land to heal. Ketheric Thorm must die.
Excellent.
Oakfather preserve you. Only by reputation. She was present when we marched against Ketheric Thorm. but on the far end of the battle lines from where I fought. And in the chaos that ensued, well, our forces were scattered. I led some to safety, but never learned of her fate. I'm glad to hear she survived. Though in truth, I should not be surprised. She was always said to be formidable and cunning. I could have learned much from her, no doubt. No matter how long I live, I will always strive to remain a keen pupil. Only a fool would think he could drink in all knowledge until none is left. There is always more. Nature's tapestry is infinitely complex. I cannot help but wonder how she would have handled some of the challenges I faced as Archdruid. Defended the Grove, Korga, the Shadow Druids. At least now we can benefit from her presence, and perhaps work to a common goal. Honestly, I never thought I'd make it that far. But the Absolute is a threat to all, and I promised I'd help you with your parasite. So, I'll remain with you. If you'll have me, that is. So do I. But one duty at a time.
Smart. Very fucking smart, actually.
I've been unfair to you. I've had unrealistic expectations of your character ever since I joined you. But honestly, you've surpassed even those. Seemed my faith was more than well-founded. Druids and Harpers joined together to put a stop to Ketheric Thorm. We marched on Moonrise, and after much fighting, we prevailed. Even in defeat, though, Ketheric turned to Shar. Not long after we sealed him away in his tomb, the Shadow Curse took hold. No one had seen the likes of it before. No one knew how to react. Then it started to claim all those within its reach. Those who had survived the battles now fell to the shadows, became part of the shadows. And worst of all, I lost contact with Thaniel. I wanted to try and find him, but we couldn't stay. We would have all succumbed. When the Archdruid of the Grove, my predecessor, was seized by the curse, I had to lead the survivors to safety. That was my first day as Archdruid. An inauspicious beginning.
Oh, so it was basically forced on him.
You are right, but I must not lose focus until everything has been put right. I've wasted too much time already. Years in which nature has suffered. It's true, and I can't imagine I helped with that. Sometimes I let the task at hand consume me, and people think I'm obsessed. Trust me, the day I no longer have to talk about the Shadow Curse will be a happy one. What would you like to know? I am? Trust me, it's been said. You show more restraint than most in avoiding the subject until now. Who's to say? Perhaps there's a half-orc buried somewhere in my ancestry. Or perhaps not. Sometimes I think conventional wisdom is too narrow about what someone can or cannot be. Stranger things have most certainly happened. I had a friend when I was young, long ago. He played with me in the forests where I grew up. But eventually, I realized no one else had heard of him. It was Thaniel, of course. Nature was my very first friend. I get older, but he hasn't changed a day. I knew then that I had to be more than a companion to him. I had to be a protector. You're not a doppelganger, are you? Trying to study me to learn all my secrets so you can take my place?
That's a great line.
Save for me, my line perished a long time ago. They rest in high forest now, near the shade of the grandfather tree. The grove became my family, with Sylvanas as my teacher. And now I have you. It was a long time ago. The wounds don't heal, but they become more bearable. I'm 350 years old. Of course there have been lovers. Just because I love nature doesn't mean I'm betrothed to it. Though sometimes nature needs reminding. Right now, I bed down alone, I'm afraid. Perhaps once I talk less of curses and parasites, my fortunes will improve. Well, I didn't pick this scar up in battle. I was in wild shape, only I forgot it was the season when bears are particularly social. A she-bear claimed me as her own and did not appreciate being spurned.
This is such a great fucking backstory for a fucking scar. Amazing.
I suppose you wouldn't be shocked to learn I love animals and nature.
Fucker.
I know. Well-trodden territory. Well then, let's see. I whittle in my spare time, and I've something of a sweet tooth. Although everyone's very amused when I say I like honey.
Oh.
Ornaments, utensils, and ducks. I like ducks. You're right. Sometimes I think people look at me and imagine my feelings can't be hurt. Thank me by returning the favor, why don't you? Come on. I'm sure you've something better than carving wooden ducks. Well, they are fierce creatures from what I understand. But as long as you avoid the high seas, I think you can consider yourself safe. I like what I like. Once you get to my age, you realize there's little point in denying yourself, so long as others aren't affected. That's far enough.
His thoughts invade your own, probing for purchase. Your parasite purrs in recognition.
My apologies. Welcome back, true soul. What news? Who better to suss out his like?
Fair point.
You'll find Zarel in the audience chamber, true soul. She'll be wanting to hear from you.
That's what I call an invitation. Let's find Zarel and get this caravan moving.
Praise the Absolute.
It's risky to enter Moonrise with an unwelcome companion. Be sure to keep them close, so you can speak on their behalf if the cultists ask too many questions. Steel yourself and venture forth.
See, I was even wondering if I should take Halsin with me, because even if he isn't true soul, he can just, you know, get shit on by the fact that someone recognizes him from the grove, like the fucking goblins, for example. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking... As much as I want to take him on an adventure, he's gonna wait.
There is only the absolute.
Barely alive by most standards. And still it bows to the absolute.
Yeah, Ghouls are undead, yes. So they can be controlled by it, or they were just created by... No, weird.
Love her.
And concerning. Don't wink at me, don't. Just fucking don't.
There's more where that came from.
A wave of sick familiarity radiates from one barrel amidst the cargo. Tadpoles. Sleeping and scarcely aware, but echoing yours 100-fold.
Look at them all. Enough to infect an entire army.
Yeah. Fun fact, I stole this and I can see that cutscene cinematic is back at the Moonrise Towers, but I stole it and I'm actually using it in Last Light Inn, so...
The winged serpent
Yeah,
of the
that's Zhentarim.
Zhentarim. It seems their pursuit of profit extends even here.
Oh god. This is a tad... I don't want to say this. Whoa.
A pattern of blank minds newly born. They carry only a bare shred of memory, inherited from something older. A sleep of centuries. The birth and destruction of a settlement above, forming only background noise to the dream, until something descended down into the darkness, and the dreamer awoke.
Whoa. That was dope.
It's not too late to stop the cult from using these things. Now's our chance to change them or fry them.
Change them? This is how my stealing usually goes. Shit.
What path lies before me?
There can be no doubt. This is the place. This is where we'll discover the secret of the Absolute.
Absolute. Well, we'll see.
You ought to be kinder, you know. To the prisoners, I mean. Any one of them could be elevated to true soul, should they accept the Absolute.
Ugh. Then I shall have to keep them busy praying for mercy from other gods, won't I? It is impossible to keep a garment clean down here.
You'll find it all the harder once we're off on the march.
If you think I'm walking all the way to Baldur's Gate without a litter, you don't know me at all.
Oh, of course. Perhaps our prisoners can be your bearers. Fine view from Gnomeback, I expect.
Well, Flo didn't tell a lie. She said you'd find me, and here you are. Karlach, isn't it?
Now there's a name I'd hope never to hear again. What was Flo doing here?
Didn't think to quiz her about her business.
Florenta the Garrotta. A Cambion I knew back in Avernus.
Oh.
She was the closest thing I had to a friend. That said, she would have choked the life out of me if I ever turned my back on her.
Like all Cambions.
The fact that she knows where I am, where I might be going, doesn't exactly delight me. Maybe. Probably. I don't know. She's a half-devil. Impossible to read. I wouldn't have given her the time of day, but even I needed a laugh once in a while. What can I say? The bitch had good jokes.
Enough chatter. Your friend gave me 3 soul coins, said I could sell them if I wanted. But if I kept them for you, she'd consider it a favor owed.
Soul coins, huh? This could come in handy.
sure. But she did have a condition.
Fuck off.
For every coin you take, you've got to hear the story of the soul trapped inside.
There you have it. Flo came all this way just to try to make me feel like shit. Clever use of her time. Memorized a bunch of sad stories on her behalf, did you?
Didn't need to. Your Flo did some devil woo-woo and stuck 'em in my head. Couldn't forget now if I wanted to. Do you want the coins or not? First coin's got the soul of a woman named Maveri. She was born to a cruel mother and a violent father and 3 evil brothers, all named Baldur.
Wow.
She never knew a day of love in all her life. When she was a girl of 15, she sold her soul to Tiamat in exchange for someone who would love her unconditionally. She got what she asked for. A fellow named Clint, destined to be her soulmate, struck by a cart and died a few moments after clapping eyes on our Maveri. Poor guy. The scud of her soul is yours now.
Thanks, I guess.
Sure you will. This one has got the soul of a man named Frakes. Lived in a village near Neverwinter. Hit hard by the worst hunger in 1,000 years. Frakes called out for help. Prayed for his children to have meat to eat. Zariel answered. Made old Frakes grow flesh upon flesh after flesh. His wee ones had all the meat they could stomach.
He should have known. Better to die 1,000 deaths than let Zariel into your life.
Karlach's the one set to consume his soul, I hear. Last one's got the soul of a little boy named Ongir. 8 years old. He liked playing in the sun with his friends. That's all I know.
That's all?
That's all. Oh, and this slip of scratch.
Well, thanks, Flo. Hearing a bunch of desperate horror has ruined my day, which I suppose was the point.
You got 3 soul coins out of the bargain, didn't you? I'd quit whinging if I were you. I did my part. That means our business is done. Unless you've got actual gold to hand.
You saw the extent of Flo's friendship. She'll lend you a hand, long as she can crush your spirit while she's at it. I knew never to let my guard down around her. She always made me laugh, even when I least wanted to. If she'd been completely different from who she was, we might have been real friends. Nothing worth reading. Cambion manipulation at its most obvious. Thank the gods. And I do, every day.
That notice. Ah.
I guess she did. Much as it makes me want to puke to admit it. Devils, you know. Fucking devils. They really screw with you, don't they?
Yeah.
If you have coin, then show it.
To mock me is to beg for death. Don't provoke me. I really fucking do.
Ha! Bark, bark, like a warg pup you are.
Oh my god, I'm
The
going to
Absolute
break your
needs
legs.
warriors for her crusade. But I see only weaklings.
I'm going to kill everyone in this place. You included.
Prove it. Who's singing your name?
That's probably Dark Urge. I didn't lose eye, but I assume it's because Shadowheart did. If I say that's going to be a problem because he was a true soul. I mainly do the singing, usually while beating my foes to a pulp. It's quite a sight. Yes. 35.
Normally talk like that's empty. But there's something behind those words of yours. I can feel it. Want anything from my stash? You pay less than the rest.
Okay.
The absolute war drums beat loud in your chest. How may I serve?
Heard a rumour some do-gooder stopped a horde of absolutists from getting their hands on a load of druids in some grove. Whoever it was, better pray the general doesn't smoke 'em out. Be a bloodbath, so it would.
You'd find better lodgings out in the war camp. I know we're all one under the Absolute, but you do not want to bunk with an ogre. Better to bunk with a beast than do battle with one, I suppose. Praise the Absolute.
If you're hearing things, maybe we ought to send you back to the war camp.
Don't blame me for wanting to steer clear. Some truly gruesome swords gathered down there. Don't mind Mig and her meat sounds. It's just her brain slopping around in her skull.
Oh, she hears the fucking tadpole.
Watch yourself with the ogre. She's a hugger.
Oh.
Hush. Meat sounds above. Here.
For a moment, you do hear it. Flesh sliding on stone, like a living being extending through the walls.
Okay, for a moment I thought that maybe she hears tadpole in her head because her brain is so small that it can fucking move there. But maybe it's about the reddish thing that I've seen in other chambers.
Pig! In walls above! Maybe.
Elder Brain?
Tower. Loudest near kitchen.
Oh, your smile, Jesus Christ.
Mick band! Not allowed to pet nose!
No wonder.
You find meat? You share!
Jesus Christ. The face on that thing.
Shh! You loud! Clumsy! In walls above. Loudest near kitchens. But maybe whole tower. Like we inside meat. Mig eat meat. Or meat eat Mig.
The empty fucking eyes. The small eyes in this huge head.